My name's Beth and I am the founder of Telling Yarns, an indie dyeing yarn company based in Bedfordshire in the UK. You join me on Wednesday, September 30th. We're at the end of September. The kids are still at school with no lockdowns currently in our area, so that's been fantastic. I am deep in the throes of preparation for a Halloween set, which will be our first Halloween set. So it's some brighter colours than I usually do, all based on the Weasleys Wizarding Wheezes. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, I think it is actually. So they've all got ridiculous names and I've been able to throw in some crazy colours, so I'll show you those in a second. I'm also finishing off the preparation for the Advents, most of which are sold now. There's a few left on the Sprocket Socks and the What the Fade. And just really enjoying getting into sweater jumper weather. I'm wearing, I can't really say this is a particular pattern, so this was a jumper, a colourwork jumper, yoke, started with a yoke and then taken down. I took the colourwork all the way down and through the arms. It was knit with Madeline Tosh merino singles, so fingering weight, and the spin cycles, I think it's the sport weight, I can't remember what it's called, dyed in the wool. And yeah, it took loads and loads of balls of, I think it was 3 skeins of the Madeline Tosh. I can't remember the colourway. It was like a white with purple speckles. Then it took maybe 4 or 5 skeins of the spin cycle dyed in the wool, which are 50 grams, but they're like full price at 50 grams, and because they come over from the US, it wasn't cheap at all. It's been a labour of love. I spent all last winter doing bits and bobs of it and just buying the wool as I ran out, and not being at all uniform or organised about it. It was supposed to be, I started it off as a shifty, didn't like the fit, took it apart, the shifty by Andrea Mowry. Then I started doing, if you've seen that balloon pattern jumper with the crop arms that I did that same pattern, but then it had, if you can see, like buildings at the bottom. Then when I put it on, I blocked it, it went massive because I hadn't properly swatched for it, a catalogue of errors, and so it's been hanging in the wardrobe ever since. Obviously it's way too warm for summer or spring. It's probably a bit too warm even for today. It's quite a nice autumn day and I'm quite warm in it, quite toasty. Put it on the other day and I'm just not happy. There's some balloons lower down and I think it just doesn't look very appealing. They draw attention to the wrong bits and make things look wrong. There was a couple of other bits I wasn't happy with. So what I did was I turned it inside out because I love the caught strands of the colourwork. There you can see on the arms. I turned it inside out and put that on and I thought, you know what, I love that. It shows off the spin cycle yarns so well. You still get the pattern slightly of the balloons, and I just love it. And because the cuffs and the hem were just in the spin cycle anyway, they kind of finished quite nicely. I did a little split hem there. And it just seems to fit so much better than it did before, because I'd picked apart the collar, I'd just done everything wrong on this. So I've turned it inside out. What I think I'll end up doing is probably, I don't know whether you can see where there's, there we go, where there's like the ends, because obviously this is supposed to be the inside. I'll probably take some time and pull those back through to the other side, just to neaten it up a little bit. But otherwise I'm gonna wear it like this because I like it like this. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Random one. So our time trades yarn advent, let me just check that I'm showing you the right side of this, for this time trade shawl by Boyland Knitwork, Caitlin Hunter. So this I knit in our Philosopher's Stone colourways. We're doing it for the advent in the Goblet of Fire colourways. And it's been so popular, really popular, and we've been selling kits with these colours. So those are still, I think there's still maybe 2 or 3 of those on the website at the moment. The advents for it have all sold out, unfortunately. We're including the pattern in those, so they have sold out. I can't add any more because all the patterns had to come from the US, and they've all been taken in the ones that have been ordered. So what I am doing, I've just sorted a set out for one of my regular customers, Rachel. So I'm selling a few of those with our Chamber of Secrets colourways. So the options are, there's you get a 100-gram skein for the main colourway. You get a 50-gram skein for the colourway next to that. So in this set that I'm showing you here, this is Slytherin's Air in 100 grams, which is a really deep sort of murky green with shots of magenta, well no, not magenta, like a hot pink, shots of dark brown and black. Then you get a 50-gram skein of Ford Anglia Adventure, which is a real sort of warm duck egg turquoise colour. I love that colour, it's one of my favourite colours, with the magenta coming through, and then lighter softer peachy colours of the Chamber of Secrets colourways coming through there. Then you get a set of the Chamber of Secrets colourways, including one, because there's only 6 in the Chamber of Secrets, so you get, let me see if I can hold these up correctly, you get Dawn Escape, which is this one, the Burrow, which is the other half of that one, it's like the lighter pinker one, that's bluey. You get Ginny, so these go in a line like that. And then as your 5th mini for this section here that I've got on, I'm going to put down these main ones, hold on. You get the Night Bus. So it goes through those like that. Oh look, there we go, we'll be able to hold them all up to that. So there's that option, or the other option is those, oh, drop that one. Those 5 from the Chamber of Secrets sets with Arthur as the 50-gram skein and the Night Bus as the 100-gram skein. So on my shawl here, this is the minis here, from this bluey colour here through to the red, those are the minis. Then you've got the main colour is this Gryffindor, the orangey reddy colour, and the second main colour, main colour 2, is this, which on here is the invisibility cloak. So you can imagine these colours on either set would be the bluey turquoisey, and these colours on either set would be the main orangey colour, and then you've got the minis at the other end. So I think I've got two sets on the website at the moment on the shop with these as the main colours, and one set with those as the main colours. So those are on there, and obviously because you're buying a set, you make a saving. It's slightly cheaper than buying them all individually, and it's meant that I could include the 50-gram skeins rather than 200-gram skeins, because you just don't need it. Like when I knitted that, I've got sat in a bowl over there probably, what, maybe 60 grams of that invisibility cloak left, if not 70. So it just seems silly to sell them as 200-gram skeins. So that's on there. The other things I've been doing, just to finish off on the Advent, is my What the Fade. So if you've watched any of the other podcasts, you will have seen this already. This is my What the Fade by Andrea Mowry at Drea Renee Knits. It is the most beautiful shawl. It's become a blanket now when I'm knitting, so it's keeping me warm. So it fades in brioche, 2 different colours, so you've got 6 skeins in total for this, 6 full skeins. I've done, Andrea does hers in merino singles. I've done the same. So it's a really soft, silky, smooth knit. And then you do a whole section of garter stitch. So I would thoroughly recommend this if you want to start knitting something over the next couple of months that you can entertain yourself with for a couple of months here with the brioche, which isn't at all difficult. And Andrea's got some fantastic videos on her YouTube which really show you how to do this. And I have linked them as a watch list on this YouTube channel as well. So if you look below and click on our Telling Yarns logo, you should be able to go through to our page and see the watch lists, and I've linked them on there. And I literally watched those and I cast on while I was watching it, and then I did the first few rows while I was watching it, and then I had the hang of it. And I've only done brioche I think once maybe before that, so it's super easy. And then the garter stitch, I think, would just be perfect for over Christmas, you know, when you want to watch all the Christmas TV, and maybe if we're lucky, COVID willing, or more likely restrictions willing, when you've got family visiting or whatever, you can just do the garter stitch without paying any attention whatsoever. You don't have to look at it, don't have to think about it. And I'm really pleased with this because it's showing off the pops in the colours really nicely. So this is all knit in our Chamber of Secrets colourways. The yarn advent is the Goblet of Fire colourways, which at the moment are secret. They're all half dyed up, but they are secret. So there's the option of doing the yarn advent, or I'm selling these colourways as a set at a slight discount if you just wanted to knit the fade. If you do the advent, you get the pattern in there as well, and loads of other little bits and bobs and a bag and stuff. You see that magenta part? I'm really pleased with this. It's come out really nicely. I counted it up last night as I was watching, can't remember what we were watching last night. Oh, the new series of Ghosts on the BBC. And I worked out I've got maybe 32 rows left to do. It's quite wide now. It's like a billion stitches wide. So I am kind of at the point now where I'll be happy. I'm enjoying it still because it's so beautiful, but I will be happy to finish it off and be able to throw it on and be done and move on to some other bits as well. I've also finished off my Sprocket Sock. So this doesn't count as a finished item because it's not finished, but it's almost there. So I've finished my Sprocket Sock. This is a pattern by Megan Nodecker at Pip and Pin. I've done mine in our Prisoner of Azkaban mini set. So you've got Expecto Patronum in blue there. You've got Parvati and the Boggart on the heel is probably the best place to show that one off. And it's like I've actually got it in full skein here because I've just dyed it up as the full skeins this week. I'm really in love with this. I'm thinking I'm still deciding what to make my Mama cardigan by Pip and Pin out of. I cast it on in Arthur and I'm now thinking I might make it in this. And then there's a couple of other things that are on my potentials list as well. So this is Parvati and the Boggart on merino singles and on our Blossom 4-ply. So that's an 80% merino, 20% bamboo. So it's got a really smooth, silky feel. And then the merino singles is like silk, really, as close to silk as wool can get, I would say. So then you've got the Marauders Map here, which is this parchmenty colour that's on the toe. It does have flecks of purple, which you can't see so much on the toe bit. And I'm dyeing up full skeins of that today. They're in the pot right now. Then Hogwarts Grounds, which is what my Miss Serena tees in, if you've seen that at all on my Instagram grid. And the Night Bus, which is also in my Miss Serena tee. So I'm really pleased with these. They were really quick and easy, and this pattern here is a slip stitch. So it's like mosaic knitting. Although you're carrying the other colour to do the colour work, you're slipping when you've got the previous colour and you're just knitting with the new colour. So that means that you do like a row of that and then you swap over and knit with the old colour and slip the new colour. So it means you're only ever knitting with one colour, so it's not really proper colour work. That's what's great about mosaic knitting. If you're not a fan of colour work, it looks like colour work, but it doesn't feel like colour work to knit. So I did the German short row heel, which is in the pattern, because I was knitting this as an example to show for our advent, because we've got, this is our sock advent this year, so you get 12 20-gram mini skeins, 6 of them on our gold leaf sparkle base and 6 on our confetti base, which is merino nylon 75%, 25%. And then I'm also doing a couple, I've put a couple of these on just in the sparkle base, where you get all 12 in sparkle as well. So that's an option, or you can knit this out of any of our mini sets, because it just takes five 20-gram minis. That leads me in quite nicely to the minis that I've been dyeing. So I've just gone for it on Halloween this week, completely gone for it, because we're going to be on the Yorkshire Yarn Fest on October 31st, Saturday, which is the actual Halloween day. I wanted to go all out on a nice Halloween set, you know, real brights. So I have done that. And I've done as I said, the Weasleys Wheezes. And I wanted to do a load of mini sets, because I know when you're knitting socks, it's great to get some of these and make something like this. I know that's really, really fun. But I'm also going to be doing loads of sets where you get 100-gram skein, such as this nosebleed nougat. So think traditional nougat here, with the pink and white striped nougat, which is what my husband thinks of when he thinks of nougat, with a mini skein. So you'd get this paired with this, for example. So I have knit out of Nosebleed Nougat the Mermaid Avenue socks by Summer Lee Knits. She's a new to me designer, and I am absolutely loving her Instagram page, because she's got great pictures like this, ignore the writing on the side, of her wearing amazing socks with jelly shoes and things like that. So she's a lot of fun. And I'm knitting her Mermaid Avenue socks out of the Nosebleed Nougat, which actually, in a really busy stitch pattern like this one, it really mottles it beautifully, because I didn't imagine when I dyed this and named it Nosebleed Nougat that it would look so pretty in a sock, and it looks really pretty, and I'm completely in love with this. So I'm going to do a couple more rows of this pattern. Is so easy to do as well. So it's a really simple sort of essentially like a 4 or 5 stitch repeat pattern, but it alternates slightly where you do it, so that you pick up the looped sections at a different place to make the scales. So it looks, I think it probably, to me, it looks quite complicated, but it's really, really simple, and I've memorized it. I did it through once, I think, and had memorized it. It was really simple. So I'm just getting down to the point where I am going to be adding in the contrasting heel, and then I'll do the toe in that as well. So you'll see on here, there's some speckles of the real bright green, which is what this colour is here. So this is You Know Pooh, named after the thing from the Weasleys Wizard Wheezes, which is called You Know Pooh, and it's this colour. They're little like tablet type things in a jar. And my twins, who are 7, Felix and Milo, are in love with this, because they think You Know Pooh is the funniest name ever, and they can't believe I've named it that. So anyway, and then so that's Nosebleed Nougat and You Know Pooh. Then we've got I'm trying to think the best order to do these in. Peruvian Instant Darkness Powder. So this is a real mix of, it's dyed really hot pink, like neon pink with purple and teal, and then I've over dyed it with darker, more night sky colours. So that is going to be being sold as a mini and as a full skein. The full skein will come with, I think, maybe an option. I think I might put an option on this one, because I think the purple looks wicked, which is Decoy Detonator. I also think that oh, I dropped the wrong thing. You Know Pooh looks good with it, because it brings out the green. And I also thought, Actually, to be fair, any of them look good. So that's Love Potion, the bright pink. I've gone for like 4 neons as the contrast, but also Canary Creams. Like any of those would work, wouldn't they? So there's Peruvian Instant Darkness Powder. Then after that we've got, what should we do next? Canary Cream. Then I just dyed this up yesterday and I was imagining it to be more of this with the speckles, but it's gone a bit softer, which is just my natural thing, I think. So this is Fainting Fancy, and it's an all over green light turquoise speckled with really bright yellow and pink and blue. I've got that in full skeins as well, so I'll come back to this one in a bit because I've got a plan for it for myself for this month coming. Then we've got Love Potion, we have Pygmy Puff, which is a really, you know those fluffy ball things that Ginny buys one as her pet. So that's all soft pinks with bright splashes of pink in there as well, but it all comes over as a really warm, pinky, mauvey, lilac-y kind of thing. I need to get a magic way of holding so many colourways all at once. Then there is Decoy Detonator. And Puking Pastels. So this is the Weasley colours, but it's also the colours that the Puking Pastels are. So those are the colourways so far. There's going to be one more, which is Fever Fudge, which is in the pots at the moment. And the Puking Pastels, just to show you. So when you've got a 100-gram skein like this on with the 2 different colours, it knits like this. So you get the stripes on the sock. So the little 20-gram wouldn't do this, it would be busier than this. But the 100-gram skein gives you just a natural sort of self-striping. Then what else was it on here? I think that's all of those ones. Yeah, so I'm also going to do the Fever Fudge, which is cooking up now, and potentially I might do one more contrasting colour. So I'm thinking what I'll do is a set of 6 of the colourful multicoloured mini skeins, and then a set of 4 or 5 of these contrast ones. But then I'll be doing the sets where you get the 2 together as well. So you can pick and choose what you want. So that's my sock extravaganza. Anyway, so I have a plan, as I said, for this. So I have dyed up 2 of these for myself on our 100% merino base, which is a 2-ply. It's really soft and silky, but not quite as silken as the singles, so it will create more of a flatter texture than the singles do. And I've got a plan because I wanted to join the West Knits MCAL, which starts tomorrow. So I bought into the pattern, joined the forum on Ravelry, watched the videos on Instagram that Stephen West had done, and he's talking about having, if you want your main colour, so you need 5 100-gram skeins. He said if you want your main colour to be something busy like this or this, then you need 3 contrasting colours, not complementary, contrasting colours that are fairly solid and plain. So I wasn't too sure what I was going to do, whether I was even going to join it, because I got lots of other bits on the go, as you can see. But I decided when I dyed this one up, if you ignore the red cord there, because it's still drying, so it's still got the original colour thread on it that comes with it. So I decided when I dyed this one up that I'm thinking that I could do this as my 2 main colours with pink, and then I was thinking either yellow and purple or yellow, pink, yellow. He does say you shouldn't have 2 speckled ones, so I don't know, maybe the night bus, but that's quite speckled, or maybe a blue perhaps. Another option might be this. That would be cool, wouldn't it? With this and this and this maybe. But I thought it's Stephen West, you know, think how bonkers his colours are and how full on they are. I thought I can't do a Stephen West October MCAL mystery knit along and do like soft, lovely colours like this. I thought I've got to go all out and do something like this. Actually, I'm thinking that's quite good now. Now I'm holding that or this. Ooh. So anyway, put your opinions below on whether I go for Peruvian Instant Darkness powder or whether I go for Fainting Fancies, because I had been thinking that was what I was thinking. But that looks really good. So anyway, yes. So that's my next plan. I don't know that I'll be able to keep up with the knit along because I'm trying to finish this. The fade in the next few days. I'm also loving my Mermaid Sock and really wanting to do that. I'm conscious that, you know, when I put up the new colourways, it's really helpful for everybody to be able to see something that I've knit in them, because, you know, if I see this and you're trying to, you know, you've got this on a shelf somewhere, I want to know, well, what does it look like when it's in a ball? You know, what does it look like caked up? What does it look like when I knit with it? I know that that's what I want to know, so I'm very conscious of trying to make sure I've got good examples of everything on there. So yeah, I think that was everything really. It is so nice to be going into autumn now and be able to wear all of the knitting, and it's been really nice to be able to get dyeing these sort of crazy colours and stuff. I'm going to be finishing off the advents and closing them over the weekend at the end of October, because then I'll be sending them out at the beginning of November, so that's going to be exciting. So I've got lots of colourways to dye up for that, and lots of things to wrap in beautiful paper and package up and get out. But I just really wanted to do something fun for the Yorkshire Yarn Fest at the end of October. So yeah, that's pretty much everything from here. I hope you're all keeping safe. I hope that you are not too locked down where you are. You know, if you're in the UK, I know that we've got, depending on what the local numbers are like COVID-wise, we have different levels of lockdown in different areas, which for us as a country is quite unusual. I know in the US, obviously, things are much more statewide, so you're used to that, but we're not used to it. We're used to kind of rules being for everybody, so that's been quite strange. But yeah, if you're keeping track at all on our house build, we are hoping to be moving out from here at the end of November. So what we're actually doing, we're building a house connected to my parents' house. It's a 2-bed, nice sizable house that we're building for them, and they're going to move in there, and then we're going to move into what was my childhood home with our children. So that's going to be really lovely. We're doing some renovations to their house. It's a beautiful house that they look after very well, but we thought we'd take the opportunity, as we don't have to move in immediately. You know, it's not like the usual thing where you're selling this house on the day that you're moving in there and stuff. So we thought, as we're lucky enough to have a slight overlap if we want it, we've decided to replace the kitchen because it's in perfect nick. They've really looked after it, it's beautiful. But it's the same kitchen from when they first built the house, like 30 years ago or thereabouts. So we decided that we would replace that. So that's happening at the beginning of November. So that's a crazy thing to commit to. I've never really paid that amount of money for anything, so it's very exciting. And me and James went and chose all the things, you know, the worktop, a nice sparkly worktop, and the cabinets, and we've got to go and choose the flooring, and we've had the builder out and all of that. So it's feeling very real now and very exciting, and the kids are really excited, so that will be lovely, because my parents' house is on our family farm, so it means we'll be living on the farm as well, and it's like a stone's throw from here because we moved here because we were going to be doing the build. So yeah, that's all really exciting. So hopefully next time I'm coming to you, we might be, well, it'll probably be the Yorkshire Yarn Fest, to be fair, and then the kitchen comes the week after that, and then we'll be starting to hopefully be able to move my parents out a week or two after that, maybe, and then we can start moving in after that. So it's very exciting. So yeah, keep safe, and I will catch up with you again soon. Okay, bye.